Welcome everyone to the Marketing Meetup. Today we're going to have a special treat. Amber Jones, our creative director, is going to do a demo on Canva, which we all find fascinating when we can look over her shoulder and watch her magic. Thanks for joining us.
So like Deb said, I am Amber. I'm the creative director here, and I work a lot in Canva. I pretty much spend my whole day in Canva. So I really enjoy it, and I am going to share some tips or things I use daily that just make my job a little easier. A lot of the tips are using the Canva Pro, which I recommend using. I believe it's around 14 a month. It's just super helpful. It will make your life a lot more simple. But the first thing I want to get into is the brand kit tool. So we are going to come down on our left hand side, and this is where you can add all your assets of your brand. We are going to go ahead and make a new kit. So right here, if you click here, if you are in marketing, you say you work with several different companies, you can upload as many brand kits as you want. It just makes it super easy to keep everything organized, and you can simply click it and add it to a template. So we're going to get new brand kit, call it sample kit. So you can update your website. So you can add your website in here, a logo. And what you do when you upload a logo, it will automatically pull colors in that are in the logo. So we'll come over here to our color set, and you can keep these colors. You can add with a hex color. If you have specific hex colors, you can add those colors. But say it pulled in correctly, we're just going to hit keep. Then if we keep going, there are our font options. So we can pick our title font. You can select what size you always want your title to be. So say we want it 56. Our subtitle is going to be Poppins, and we're going to keep it at 36. Our header is going to be Anton. I always recommend to keep it simple with no more than 2 fonts when you're building a graphic. If you use a lot of fonts, it just becomes a little messy, hard to read. So I always recommend just keeping it at 2. It makes it very simple. And then the next is our brand voice. Brand voice does come in handy when it comes to Canva. They have recently added a new feature, which is an AI writing tool, just to help you come up with a good subtext. So when we are adding our brand voice, you can add whatever we want. So we want professional, helpful, and friendly. And then the next is photos. So you can add all of your team photos. If you have photos out on the field or certain products, this is where you can dump it and find those photos very easily. Because when you're working in Canva, the photos are all in a section called uploads, and sometimes it gets really hard to find specific photos you're looking for if you've uploaded a lot of photos. So I think this is just a great way to keep everything organized and easily find specific things you're looking for. And then the last thing I'm going to go over is graphics. So with this, you can link a folder. If you have a Canva folder saved with specific graphics you like to use. So these are templates that you use frequently. Maybe you post Tips Tuesday every Tuesday and you use a specific template, or a Fact Friday or anything like that. It is very helpful to link this so that you are staying very cohesive. Now that we got our sample kit created, I'm going to show y'all how to use it. Next is the create button. So we'll come in here. Templates are great. I always recommend using a template as a baseline. So we are in our design element. We have clicked create new design. We're in our 4x5 Instagram size. To find those templates that we've saved in our Canva brand kit, we are going here. We're selecting the correct kit, going to graphics, clicking our folder, and then here's all the designs we have saved. And then with that, we are able to edit any of these features. We're able to use our AI writing tool. It'll pull in all these ideas. You can adjust it with create more ideas like this. So this is saying, okay, I like what you're saying, but then change these features. So say I like just this part. I'm gonna copy it. We also can adjust with this of say, okay, like this, it's too long. Can you shorten this text for me? Perfect. Replace. So this is why the Canva brand voice is important, because you can add this into your text. So we've uploaded our brand voice. We want all of our text to sound like. We're going to apply our brand voice. Perfect. Replace. With these, you can make bulk content using the templates in easily duplicating a page. We can change out the text, and then we can add different colors with our brand kit. So we're coming to our brand kit. We want our colors. So if you click this button, it'll shuffle all the colors on the page. So it's a quick change that you don't have to really think too hard about. You can easily just tap and you're like, I love that. That is perfect. And then move on. And you can make, say, 10 tips for 2 months and just quickly push out content. The other thing I wanted to demonstrate that I think elevates content is layering. So with this as an example, we have the burger or the actual burger over the word burger. And I'm going to show how we do that is we're going to get a new page. So this is using our background remover tool. So we're going to drop our image in, get it in place. We're going to add our header. We're going to make all caps, but we want the burger a little over the text. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this image. So I'm on a Mac, so I'm hitting Command Copy and then Command V to paste. We're going to line those images up, and then I'm going to use this background remover. And so what it's going to do is allow me to move this icon over, and I can do layered text. So for example, maybe want the words say burgers all the way down. So now we are going to take that text, we're going to position them backwards. So that is one way to layer text. With that, you can also add a gradient to your text using the transparency tool. That way it's giving a little more dynamic with our text. Another way we can add dynamic to our graphic is using gradients. With gradients, it's easy to do text over and layer with images. That way it's not such a hard cutoff. So for example, this is a gradient right here. If we take it away, we can see how the image is completely cut off at the bottom when we don't really want that harsh line. So with that, how we're going to do that is we are going to our elements. We are going to type in square. We're going to click this, select the color we want. I'm going to size it. So to add a gradient, you are simply clicking on the color you're using, and we're going to hit gradient. So what we want to do is use transparency to give that look. So I'm going to make sure it's all the way black, and then I am going to add a slow transparent gradient. And now I am going to rotate it the right way, and then I'm going to line it up. Okay, just like that. That way you see the harsh line is gone. We have a nice fade into the image. It just looks a lot smoother and easy to view. Canva also has apps you can use. I don't know if any of y'all have used the apps feature on Canva. It is down at your left-hand side. I'm going to click this. We can search for specific apps. There's all kinds of things. If you're looking for text or fonts, we can find different fonts or different text generators. So maybe you want a specific effect that you don't quite see in Canva. You can use their apps to find plugins that will have maybe a more dynamic font you're wanting to use. They also have AI feature to generate images, which is where I found this football player, is the app called Magic Media. So we're in our apps, we're going to type Magic Media. So I'm going to click this, and it'll generate images, graphics, video, all kinds of stuff. So maybe you can't quite find a video or graphic that fits your needs in the elements. This is an easy way to generate. You don't have to get off of the platform of Canva. So this is a simple way to keep everything at the same spot. So we're going to do the same. So we say we like this image. We're going to remove our background. We're going to keep him, line him up, and say perfect. You also can edit images in Canva. So say the image is just too dark, we're going to hit edit and then make adjustments. So we can do brightness, contrast, all of that. You also can play around with your colors. So it'll show the main colors of a photo. If we want to adjust that specific color maybe to fit our graphic a little better, we can do that there. The other thing that is in our apps that I think is very helpful is finding logos. Logos can be so hard to locate and use the right ones if you're looking for a PNG or something with not a background on it. There is an app called Brand Fetch, so you can find it in the app. So we're gonna type in Brand Fetch. We're gonna click here, and we can look for anything Daphne High School. Perfect. So we have our logo. So say we want to swap this with the background remover. Say actually we're using this one, and we click our background remover, but it erases something we don't necessarily want it to erase. You can edit that by clicking this one more time, and it's going to take us to our image. And if we click this, we can see a transparency version of what it's removing. But if you click this tool, you can restore specific areas. So say it accidentally removed something here, we would just color in the areas we would want to restore and then hit update. And then lastly is our QR code generator. Like I said, there are so many apps that you can use that are plugins for Canva that you can play around and search in the apps bar. So we're gonna open, and then you are just typing in a website, and then it will generate the design for you. You can select the color you want. So that's perfect. And then we are adding our QR code. So it's super easy for if you're needing a flyer with a QR code versus having to once again get off of Canva platform, you can simply do it in our apps. Well, that is really all I had to show y'all of just things I have used in my day-to-day with working with Canva. If there is any questions, I'd love to answer or
I do
any
have a
thoughts.
question, Amber. I
Yeah.
was just wondering if you've tried starting a design or a project or anything straight from Canva AI and just putting in a prompt and what you think of it and what your results have been around Canva AI.
I have not done directly Canva AI to build a design completely. My route is typically finding a template that have elements I like and then working from there. I do use the AI writing tool a lot to help just rephrase anything that I feel is too long. So maybe it's about an event, but I need a shortened version of it to go on the graphic because we don't want our graphics to be too word heavy. I use that tool a lot. But I
Okay.
do think that the AI tools are super helpful if anything is with just coming up with ideas of designs of maybe you don't quite have an idea of where you even want to begin using that AI tool to brainstorm. Well, awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Thank you, Amber.
Of
That
course.
was great.
And if y'all ever have any questions, feel free to email me. It's amber@contentfresh.com. I would love to help y'all out with any design ideas.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Amber.
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you.
coming.